morning, folks. It's Lee Swanner with Farm Landscape and Irrigation. Today what I want to do is show you how to cut in a head on an existing lateral that's already been run. So oftentimes you got a situation where you need to add another head or make a repair. And what I'm going to teach you how to do is do a swing out. And a swing out is where you cut a 90 in on this place. It's simple. It's the only way to run add a head or make a repair, because you can't, on a straight pipe, there's no way to add in a fitting without reducing the length of the pipe in there where the fitting will not fit. There's no way to put a coupling. If you cut a piece of pipe out, you can't just put a coupling in it and reconnect it. There's no way to do that. And you also can't do it with two couplings without digging the pipe back in both directions long enough to where you can move the pipe to get the fittings in there. You're never gonna be able to cut it the right length, and plus you don't want to have to dig back to Kingdom Come this way or that way in order to make these cuts. So I'm going to teach you a simple way to do this. It's called a swing out, and I had to be taught this, but I'll tell you what, it's the number one easiest way to make a repair on a broken line or to add a head. And so what you want to do is you want to take your pipe cutters and you're going to cut out a piece of pipe. Okay, and so now we've got this piece of pipe we've cut out. And so the first thing we want to do is we're going to swing this out. We're going to use 4 90s and a T to add this head in, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. So the first thing we want to do is take this, and we're going to always use primer. You always want to use P68 primer, and because I'm working all the time, I'm working more often than not with wet pipe or pipe that's damp. I always want to use blue glue. It's quick drying. It doesn't matter if there's a little moisture on the pipe, it'll glue it down. So we're going to take this, we're going to glue the outside of your pipe, inside of your fitting. Okay, you're going to take that 90 and you're going to put it on sideways. Okay, so it's poking out this way. Okay, then you take another 90, same thing on the other side. Okay, you're going to prime the outside of the pipe, inside of the fitting. You're going to take your glue. See, I've still got water coming out of this pipe, but you know what? I don't even care because I've got this wet, dry glue. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to glue the outside of the pipe, inside of the fitting. You're going to put that on and essentially try to get it looking in the same direction so they're going to come together right. So the next thing I need to do is get me a little scab. Well, I can use this piece right here. So I'm going to take 2 little identical size scabs of pipe. And it would also help if my cutters were a little sharper. So you want to make that, really you want it longer than those fittings butted up against one another, but in this situation it's not going to matter really. So, but you never really want fittings butted up against one another. Okay, now we'll take these 2 little sticks of pipe, identical size, and I'm going to prime the ends of them, clean them up, clean all that mud and crap off of them. Always want to prime your pipes. I mean, some people don't use primer. I do, almost in every situation. Then I'm going to take these 2 pieces, I'm going to glue them, put some glue on them, on both of them. I'm going to glue the inside of our fittings. I'm going to stick this pipe in there. Okay, so now those are in. So then what we want to do is, all we're going to do now is we're going to make a piece of pipe the distance between the inside of this piece of pipe sticking out, inside of that piece of pipe sticking out, with 2 90s on it. So what I'm going to do, I just so happen to have a little pipe right here sticking up. Okay, so one way to measure this is to go ahead and take one end and go ahead and glue my 90 on it. Okay. But one thing I got to remember is I'm cutting a T-end on this, so I don't want to forget to do that. So what I'm going to do now is take this and cut it off short. Okay. And now I'm going to glue this 90. It's a, I mean, not this threaded T. It's a threaded T, which I'm going to put my head on. But I want to have it turned up. I don't want to have it sideways. So I'm going to glue that, and make sure it's going to be pointing up, because you don't want to ever have to come in and service something with a T that is facing sideways. It's almost impossible to service. Okay, so now what I want to do is take this other piece of pipe and glue it into it, and I'll show you how to cut it for distance. Okay, so now this is going to be too long, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 90 and I'm going to go ahead and dry fit it on there, and then I'm going to swing this out, and it's going to tell me exactly what I can do is take my cutters and I can put it right there, and I'm going to cut it right where it meets up with the inside edge of that pipe. Of the pipe sticking out of my little existing pipe. And now that's going to fit perfectly. So what I got to do now is glue a 90, and I always try not to dry fit things and forget about them, because they will blow off and you will regret it when that happens, I promise you. So I'm going to glue, first I'm going to glue my 90 on this. Okay. Always prime everything. I mean, it's important to do that. So I'm going to put my 90 on. You want to line them up, both 90s up the best you can, or if you have to, whatever you got to do. So now this fits perfectly. So now all you do is glue the ends, prime this, glue this, and pop it in there. And I'm going to show you how to do that, and that's done. Look, I'm messy. I get glue all over me, and it takes a long time to get it off, but you know what, make sure that you're putting a little pressure on the back end of it. And this glue right here sets fast. Okay, so now, although it's not ever perfect, I mean, I'm not a perfect technician, I just know how to do it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to add this head. Okay, so we're going to, I use funny pipe on everything, so what we're going to do is take a funny pipe fitting and go ahead and screw it in. Since I don't have a head ready, I'm going to borrow one because I wasn't ready. So what we're going to do now is take this other funny pipe fitting right here. It's a 90. We're going to screw it in the bottom of our head. Okay? These are barbed fittings, so we're going to push them on all the way if you can, and it helps if it sits out in the sun, the stuff heats up. It makes it a lot easier to put this stuff on there, because it is tough. If you have to do this all day long, it'll wear you out, I promise. So now we're going to stick this on there. Okay. That's good there, but the thing is on this particular application, what I'm trying to do is I've got these birds of paradise here, what I did a couple of weeks ago. I took a single bird of paradise that was about one of the biggest birds I've ever seen in my life, and the lady didn't want it anymore. So I dug it up for her, and I cut it into 4 big giant pieces, probably 25-gallon plants apiece. What we're going to do is we've got them planted right here. I chopped them up into 4 pieces. I'm going to water them real good, get them established real well, and then I'm going to sell them to somebody else. I mean, that's what we do for a living. These are nice birds of paradise, and they deserve to be in somebody's yard. But this particular situation, this is about 15 feet long and about 5 feet wide, and I want to be able to water all these plants off my irrigation, but I don't really want to get water where I don't need it. So there's a nozzle. It's a real common nozzle, and they make them now. It's called a side strip or a center strip or end strip. So what they do is this particular one here is a side strip, and it'll spray 15 feet in both directions and 5 feet in out in front of it. And so that way you don't get a lot of overspray. It sprays directly where you need it, and works like a charm. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this other nozzle out of this head that I did not have ready. Just pop that up. Take the other nozzle off and put this one in. Take that nozzle right there. So what we're going to do, we're going to kind of line it up where we think we need it. It's got marks on it, so I know that this is the right direction right here. So we're going to put that down. I'm good. I feel good about my my connections and stuff. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bury this. I want to get in there and pack this stuff down. Get it all packed down in there good. And that fitting is a little high. I don't like it, but I'm fixing to grass all this, and it's gonna be 4 or 6 inches underground. So we're gonna put grass in here this week. But right now I'm trying to deal with these. So you see that head like that? Get it where you want it. Cover it all up, then you come back and you're obviously going to grade it out and rake it out nice. But we want that head flush with a finished grade, okay? So this right now is a finished grade and it's flush. That's a 4-inch pop-up. It's going to pop up, spray in this direction, 15 feet and 5 feet over. So probably going to get a little on the fence. This is a temporary solution for this. And so we're good on that. But one thing I needed to do on this is, first of all, I need to cap this other. I'm going to take a 1/2-inch cap and screw in this head that I just took off. I don't need it yet. And also, because this head that I just put on is actually attached to a drip zone, which you never want to do. But in this situation, I'm doing it again because it's temporary. But this is exposed, I mean, this is open right here, and so we don't want to, when I turn this zone on right here, this is going to blow out, 25 gallons a minute. We don't want that to happen for 30 minutes or 20 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever it is. So we're just going to prime that, stick a coupling on this. And I've got a little slip cap. We're going to put that slip cap on there, and it's going to button it up just like that. We're going to glue that, stick it on there. It's capped. This other head here on a different zone, but I didn't want to. It was on a different zone. But anyway, so that's how you do that. Voila! 1, 2, 3. You can use that same technique to fix or repair a break in a lateral. Or because a lot of times you get into bigger pipes, these things don't flex. You can't move them, so you have to do a swing out. So it's going to be 2 90s out, and then 2 little scabs of pipe on the end of it, and then you build a 290s facing that way with the same distance, and all you have to do is stick it on there. You don't have to fight it, you don't have to work with it, you don't have to guess it, you don't have to do anything. It's a simple fix, and it works every single time. Mind your priming, and we use wet dry glue. Don't skimp, don't be scared to do it, just put it on there and make it happen. Works every time. We appreciate you.